Hello, hello. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I hope you hear me now. So, today we're gonna do some modular building. So, this is a tower, the modular building made, not finished yet. And we are doing this for Domi Online. Amazing. We find it very thankful for this opportunity. And I will show you how we made. So, I painted only this part of the building, like one or part of the building. Everything else goes on the mirror. And after I figure it out, adding step by step. I've been doing with testing with some filters, so I will turn off all the filters, and I hope it will work better. I'm like pretty new on the streaming for YouTube. I've been doing this all on the Twitch. So I hope it's better now. Let me know, please. So I'm starting texturing it with the base colors, then adding some like more details to it. And it's not finished yet. And I prefer to texture everything like together on one scene so I can figure out all the details and the colors correctly. It's not a substance, it's a 3D code workflow where we are doing mostly like only diffuse textures. It's kinda can be done with the substance, but I prefer 3D code because the brush engine here is like much better than a substance, and the substance it's more for baked things. Like if you have high poly sculpted, and you can set up pretty good textures there. But if you are targeting for more hand painted thing, then you should use 3D code. So at first, mm, I'm figuring out all the details, like doing very raw sketching on everything, like what kind of walls we're gonna have, what kind of roof. It's not the final things. And for final, I'm gonna split this on the tileable textures. For now, it's like very concept-like, like, thing. Like, concept-like, like, 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 like,
Okay.
So after this step, one momentum. Come on. So I joined all the things from the previous one, and also I added some props to work on this scene with the building, so I can match the colors, so I could make very similar ones. Oh, missing plank here. For hand painted with normal maps. Wow. So if you have normal maps, it's already like stylized at PBR. It means that you use it ZBrush already, like use it sculpting, and it's a little bit different workflow. It's like Wayfinder, the game, probably everyone knows it, and the Warcraft. Yeah, Warcraft is like hand painted, and the Wayfinder is, or Zelda, yeah, like games, it's stylized at PBR. If you're using normal maps, roughness, sculpting, substance, it will be stylized at PBR. If you go with 3D code diffuse only thing, this is gonna be a hand painted like League of Legends, World of Warcraft, and same games. Also, it's possible to use sculpt plus 3D code, like you can bake your things to the diffuse texture, join everything, or you can paint those details. So it's that kind of workflows. So I can show you some things I've already done. This was the first buildings I have done for Domi Online, and I would work on it so much. This is the set. It's like Modular one that I made for the Domi human town, and this is what we made with this set. Yeah, a lot of buildings, just dozens of different endless variations. Yeah, like build everything. Even these crazy medieval variations of 5-4 buildings. And it's all made with the Modular set. Yeah, Wayfinder also have some very nice modular buildings. It just looks super amazing. And currently it's like everyone go for stylized PBR because it's very hard to find the correct guys for hand painted projects. It's like harder to master the painting process than the substance process. Substance is a bit easier to master because there's like everything you can make with the settings. You don't even need to paint, and for hand paint it's all about your like painting skills. And also this is a set for the castle I have made, like not that much parts couple tile textures, and then boom, the wall castle that been made from these parts. And actually it has the interior part too. And also this hand painted things, the hand painted skills, it will help you to bring your PBR stylizer to the next level. Like every artist who's been working on Wayfinder, they have just perfect hand painted skills. It helps you to get the correct colors, adjust colors, add additional details like rust and everything else. Without this knowledge, your PBR will be very flat looking and not the juicy. So let me show you a couple more things and we're gonna go for hard work. So yeah, this is the buildings. I have some cool reels to show you how it's kind of been made. So guys, the difference between Substance and 3D Code is that 3D Code it's for painting, for hand painting, doing the work with for diffuse only with your pen and skills. And for Substance, you are doing less painting, you are just playing with settings, with the baked details, and you can like scroll all the settings like ambience and everything else. While in 3D Code, you're gonna paint all these things by your hand. So yeah, 3D Code is using like for games like Warcraft, League of Legends. This is the more popular ones, and for many diffuse painting things too. While in Substance, you wanna have a sculpted things, and there's other brush engine for painting. It's not that well feeling like when you where you're painting. That's why it's not using for hand painted things like pure hand painted. It's been made not for this. Another one reel. So for the colors, you want to go with something very middle, not super saturated, not super bright, super dark. The one that can receive lighting, and you can make with those colors the night colors, the day colors, or the kind of neutral, something in the middle. So regarding the scales for modular assets, it will be all about the developers. Some guys using different modular kits made in the engines, and those are procedural ones and need a specific size. mostly it's like 2x2 or something like that. And if you are doing like I did with the castle, it's like not very standard, yeah, modular buildings. It's like very unique details. You can't set everything 2x2 here. Yeah, we have like very different towers and stairs and everything else. So for these ones, you want to set them by your hands and making some prefabs or blueprints, yeah, and reuse them in the engine. It's like different stuffs. It depends on the developer needs. Of course, if you're gonna build them with hands, they will be more unique one than the generated. In past, I did a lot of generated buildings. I've been working on other projects like city builders and so on, and we did a lot of them, but they are not looking that great like this one. So I'm gonna close this one, this one. Mm. And this one too, don't need any more. Where did I stop? So the next step for it will be I'm gonna split it on parts. Like I want some to make some model roof. So I'm gonna split probably this part and we're gonna reuse it on all the building. And same I'm gonna do for the wall. I'm gonna split like see, let's separate it. So and this the thing I'm gonna texture for final. Oopsie. So it will go like that, like 2x4, and after it I just gonna copy it over all building, yeah, and also for sides and so on we can reuse this texture everywhere, and same will go for roof. I really want to do bigger tiles for this one so they will be more unique. I don't want to go like 2x2 and do very similar texture everywhere, and same for roof. Like often you go just for smaller like this, yeah, and then repeat it everywhere. But I don't want to do for this one. I want to have more unique hook for it. So regarding my background, I'm doing art for 15 years, and 9 of these years I've been a founder of art outsource studio. Been working on projects with Disney, Epic Games, and FunPlus, and many more AAA guys. And currently I'm doing mentorship and art content. I just really like it. And also we have one of the biggest stylized art communities in the Discord, so feel free to join us. I just got new microphone and probably it's not set yet correctly. I will figure it out, not on this stream, so sorry for the sound. I just get rid of them. My previous mic, it was not that good, and I get the Yeti Logitech Blue Yeti. It's a very expensive one, and I thought I can have a good sound with it. I just need to set up it correctly, probably. So yeah, I'll just figure it out later on. So let's do something. We can texture some parts. Maybe part of the roof or part of the wall. Maybe we can paint some interesting proofs. Let's probably start with painting something. This will be more interesting. Yeah, no worries. If you want like to check this video later, I will upload it to my YouTube. And also you can check their different tutorials if you're interested. There's many interesting things and it's all free. So I'm starting painting with figuring out the light information. I probably need something more colorful. And this process is calling color blending. So it's like you're doing some light information. Yes, this live stream going to uploads. So no worries if you need to run somewhere or have any other things to do. You're always welcome back to see the video. So it's like the base colors here, and I want to mix my color with some more interesting one. Not, we don't want to go only red here. Yeah, we're gonna do something more interesting. Maybe a little bit like purple things here. On the shadows, like on the darker part. It's the mistake of every beginner. They always want to go straight with only one color, yeah, like working only here. Also, you never want to work with black or white lights on your final model. It's not something that looks cool, and actually those colors are not existing in the nature. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of hand painted things, and also uh, launching some courses with hand painted things too, if you're interested. And for the lighter core, we also want to try something interesting. Maybe something like this. Let's try it out on new layer. I'm gonna hide this blank. I was trying to mix at least like 3 colors or something. In PBR, you want to do same thing for nicely done and juicy textures like Wayfinder. They never work only with one color straightforward. Looks kind of cool. Let's see what we can do if you test different color here. So I go to hue and see how other colors work here. Maybe something brighter. This one looks cool. I'm also doing not just hand painted. I do also the PBR stylized things too, and different workflows for hand painted. Using the sculpting, using substance baking tools for your base texture to overpaint it later. There's many different workflows. And it's much easier if you are not like super professional in painting to use like sculpting first. Or even do some grayscale like the Riot Games doing. Probably this one is too dark. No, it looks kinda cool. I'm not sure if we want to add here some things like it's let's see. Do we want some ghost details here? Regarding the shapes, I just do how I feel and like. There's no like rules for it. I just paint how I like it. for eraser tool to decrease the opacity of those details. And this building will be a tavern. And also you can build different market buildings with these modular things. So that's why we are doing these cause elements that looks like some kind marketplace medieval thing. And now it's some highlights here. So it's always hard to paint that cause details. It's one of the hardest things. And if you're struggling with it, you can do sculpting, then bake it and paint over. It will be much easier. Or you need to go out of reference. So normally I would need to check some, like put here some reference and paint very similar. Or it cannot fit for that kind of cause element. Yeah. Also we need to do some window frame. So the windows are not only that straight. Yeah, but first let's finish this one. So I will need to add I will go for even a lighter thing. We need to add highlights on edges too. Not sure if I want to do this with soft brush, maybe with harder one. when you're painting, you're not using roughness and metalness. It's only your base color diffuse texture. It's called albedo map. I think we need to do some modular things today, not only this coarse material. I know many people have been interested of modular things. And probably I would add some ornaments later on it too. So some more interesting things around. And I actually don't like how this calls details that I painted. So later on probably I'm gonna look for references, and if I was struggling painting those in color, maybe I do some black and white thing for it. It's easier to do details in black and white or sculpt it. So I would like to do something modular today. Maybe we can do a roof piece or something. Not like single assets, because the stream is called modular assets. So what we want to do, the wall or the roof? Let's vote. A roof is number 1, the wall is number 2. Just post it in the chat. Or I will choose it by myself. So I think then we go for the wall. So it will be looking probably like that because the first thing, the first pass I painted, it was only a texture idea, not like the final one. Yeah. Now I have idea what to paint and that it will grade on the final texture. So what we're gonna do, and also we probably need to do a couple of those things because we have very unique one on the upper part. So normally it will be, oopsie, also some kind of this part. But today we're gonna paint the overwhelm. So I'm gonna just unwrap it. And for 3D code, I I want to do next thing for tile. I will make couple of those things and join them together. So that way we'll be painting here and the texture is like tileable. If I'm gonna paint on this side, I will not mess it up, it always will be tileable. And if you will do like simple texture, just a square one, you could do this in Photoshop using offset filter to do like similar stuff like I did with mesh, but it's doing same with the texture too. And also when you're sculpting your tiles in ZBrush, you're doing pretty similar stuff like I did here. Let's go it 01. I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna open the new scene. And I'm not going to mess it up. I already know the course. I figured out all the course, so I know where I'm going. Hey, what's wrong with it? Why it's... Oh, that's correct. I thought it's turn it on the side. Haha. So I want to upload here some of the cars I'm using. To pick some of them. I'm gonna use some fill tool. not the fill, now it's the brush. I'm using the hard brush. Probably the bricks gonna go on this level. So when I'm painting here, I will be painting on other side too, and if I paint like here, I can do the correct connection between walls. Yeah, like it will be the same everywhere, and I can normally tile it. So if I will paint here, it will be connect correctly here. Repeatable, it's because I have the UV map there all at the same place, yeah, and that's why they overlap each other and we can paint like that. It's like a cheat mode. I'm not using only one of these while painting, but I made three of them connected. That way you can paint tileable things in 3D code and not worry that they like will not match each other. You want to do the same thing in Photoshop for your textures and same thing in ZBrush for your scopes if you are doing tileable things. Let's go for some eraser. We want to paint some bricks here. I'm currently using eraser tool, so I'm erasing this red color, red brown dark thing. And that way we make a connection for this detail. Trying to make them with like very different sizes. Also, I don't want to go with very straight bricks, so I'm making them very different, so they will not look that boring, and also will make some core values for it. And if you would sculpted this thing, the process will get like pretty similar. We just would do this in ZBrush, like because the painting and sculpting feels very similar. And if you can paint these details, this means that you can sculpt them like 10 times even more better, because sculpting is much easier. There's only the settings you need to learn. If you already know how to paint, you can do all these details. At least for me it feels like that. So if I painted something, I'm very sure that I can do this in ZBrush even better. That's our basting for the bricks. And of course we want to add some details, some more details and colors. So I'm gonna do some color blending just here and there to get more of this concrete look. Let's save it. Also, we're gonna do some scratches, damage, and other things later on. And I'm doing it with hard brush, and if you're using also 3D code, don't forget to set up your settings here, sharp shape in brush options, and also actually we need this one too. This will help you a lot with working with hard brush and with soft brush too. So now it has some texture on it. And probably they also had some bricks on it too, but more correct ones, like a very square form, like those things. So let's make similar ones. This is our rocks. This is our upper bricks. Is this incorrect color? And now I'll go for eraser tool and gonna adjust these forms. And if you guys have any questions regarding Domi online buildings on other modular things, feel free to ask. I did a lot of modular things during my artist life. Kinda seems kinda cool. And now we want to start adding more details and values to everything, so it will not look that flat and cartoony. doing some blending, uh, making kinda gradient, like from darker to lighter and so on. The favorite modular thing I worked on, I think this will be the Domi town buildings. It's my favorite ones. I put all my soul in those. And I love working on medieval fantasy style. It's my favorite one. And following by the previous tavern building I made, it's probably will be my second one that I like it. And those been made for Epic Games. And I think this one gonna look much better than the previous tavern I made. Because every time you're doing something, you're learning new things, and every your next work is looking better. Yeah, I need to get extension arm. I had the extension arm like this, yeah. But then I got the new huge micro, and this thing is not holding it. So I have some issues that I didn't expect it to have, and that's why my microphone standing a little bit on the side, because on the middle I have here my tablet. So I will figure it out for the next stream for sure. Let's do a couple different color bricks. The stones. So they will not be all the same. The cool thing about this micro, let me it's G hub. I need, yeah. Let's do some goofy stuff.
Greetings everyone. Subscribe to my channel or I will eat your soul. And all of you must play Domi online. Ha 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 ha. That's the cool thing about this micro. It's a Warcraft edition, and I can talk with different voices of different heroes from Warcraft. So I'm messing with it.
Hey guys, have you already subscribed? Let's go. Okay, I'm getting back to normal.
Okay, try turning the effects off. Now it's normal. And I need to place it on the side to paint. So it's a very nice feature just to mess around on the streams. Very funny. So now we have different color for the bricks, and I want to add more details to it, like this gradient thing. Normally for tile texture you spend like 2 to 3 hours. It really doesn't matter, you can sculpt it or whatever, it will take some time if you want to make it look cool. Even the substance designer will take some time. And for the next stream, I also gonna get some music. I normally stream with some epic music. I just switched it from Twitch to YouTube and haven't set everything. Not sure what music have not as a copyright thing, so I will not get banned. During last year, I streamed for like 300 hours on Twitch. But unfortunately, after a couple months, all my videos been removed because Twitch not holding them forever like YouTube. That's why I'm on YouTube now. So I can stream here, I can do tutorials, and everything will be here forever. That's really cool. And also, no one watching Twitch for art stuff. Everyone won't have fun and watch some games and like Asmongold and other streamers. Art isn't that fun to watch. sharper edge will be more crooking here. In past for the Domi Online, I've been sculpting most of the parts also for tile textures too. But then I realized that I'm already painting much faster than I'm sculpting. So I switched to full hand paint here. It's because I've been doing a lot of hand paint art later on. And also the hand painted courses I made with the full pipeline. Yeah, I'm still doing mentorship things. And I have already very happy students that finished my course. Yeah, I think this looks good. We can do similar for these bricks too. And then we're gonna add some darker line art details like some under this brick, some shadows, some scratches, some damage and other things. That's everyone clear. Not liking this color. It's too close to this concrete thing. How it goes, I'm not sure. The clay wall. Okay, we can now go for some line art things. And the line art, it's the darker lines you want to paint, like everything that is dark, and define some of your lines, ornaments, damage, and that kind of things. So we're gonna add some depth to our rocks. so happy we can paint it in 3D code. I like the brush engine here much better than in Photoshop. Hey, to the new guy in the chat. I actually know Russian too. I speak three languages: Latvian, Russian, and English. It's normal for guys from Baltic countries. Most of us speaking 3 languages. But I try to keep the art content on English. It's not my main language, but so more people can understand me. And I never want to go for any content with a Latvian because there's only 1 million people in the world who speaking this language. Здорово, здорово. Да, я понимаю. Actually, when I did the mentorship, I had many students who been speaking Russian, and we talking only Russian with them. Yeah, this thing is for Domi online. It's my additional freelance work I'm doing with them pretty often, and I'm very happy I have this chance. And I have a full freedom there with the designing, so I can design everything by myself. So all this building been designed by myself, and the colors and everything. And now we are making the wall for it that we're gonna like copy everywhere. Yeah, this is just a concept thing, and now we need to make it correctly with the tiles. And so later on we can build different sizes building, and same will go for roof, while planks are kinda ready here. So for the planks I will just remove the ambient I had, and I can reuse those parts everywhere, like this plank too. I'm gonna reuse those everywhere, just bake it with exported it with ambient. I will turn it off, and then I will reuse those parts. And same for this one, I will make it like this, and gonna reuse it over all the building, so it will be also tile. So both borders pillars. So you make this like building kit, and then you can make different sizes for it and different like height or whatever. Like I've been showing previously with other buildings, but this one is more unique, not like the town building. They had mostly 2x2 meters tiles. And also we're gonna have the interiors here too, inside the tavern. Hey, thanks for kind words, man. Well, yeah, sometimes there's not that much time. Also, if you're doing like some indie games, they have very restricted deadlines, while for AAA games like some Warcraft or Overwatch, you have a lot of time to work on your things. They spend hundreds of hours till everything is perfect. I actually been trying to get some freelance or whatever work with Blizzard for Warcraft, but haven't get one yet. While had some success working with some writings. Don't want to make them too much of these scratches, and making the scratches, make sure you have like different size for it. Like you're not doing the straight line. Yeah, you always want to have from smaller to bigger. That's the way to go. I absolutely don't like the very sharp corners, so we're gonna adjust those like this one. I never go with like super sharp lines. I always trying to keep them more smoothed beveled like. on this where. And if you check my portfolio, and also the YouTube channel, I've been recreating some weapons from Warcraft and doing some fan arts for Warcraft. I'm really big fan of this style and the game. It's actually inspired me to start making 3D. It was the Warcraft, I've been playing it so much. So we started making our own game with my friends. It was like 14 years ago, I think. And my issue with Warcraft, hiring to Warcraft, is my portfolio. Normally, if you want to get a job somewhere, you have to prepare your portfolio for these projects. Like if you're going for Warcraft, you should have at least like 6 to 8 projects in similar style and similar direction. If this is environment art or props art, in similar color, so they will match the game like absolutely. And I haven't done this thing. I've been doing a lot of things what I want. Many fan arts, tutorials, different content that just I like it. Also a lot of freelance for indie games. In past when I had a studio, we've been doing a lot of work for hundreds of clients. And we've been doing everything, even 3D printing things and many stuff like that. And we even did a toy for Ninja, the streamer guy, in past. That was good time. And many not only hand painted things, many PBR games. Just cleaning a little bit those things here and there. And for Blizzard, I've been trying even to get a job there with recommendations. I have some friends working there. So I had this, how it's called, when someone shares a link for you who's working there. And walking around, showing your portfolio to the team and that kind of things. Yes, the referral guy. Been applying a couple times there with a referral, and this guy wasn't like only referral, he also walked there to the art team and been showing directly to them my portfolio. And the team thought that they liked my stuff, but I didn't get that response from the higher guy. And I know why. It's all because of portfolio. If I would spend like maybe some half of the year building portfolio only for Warcraft, maybe I had better chances to get there. But for now, it's not my main goal. Looks pretty cool. I actually been ready to travel to USA. It's not an issue. In any of their office, it's Boston or Irvine. I can't say this city name normally. I already been in this city for BlizzCon a couple of years ago. And we want some darker things, some small bricks too. Just making sure I have different color for it, not like everything same. Maybe in future I will try again, but I now have different plans and I enjoy a lot what I'm doing. And I really want to grow the YouTube with the tutorials, the courses, and everything like this. I just enjoy teaching the peoples. Oh, the Austin, Texas. That's interesting. And do they do like the Warcraft there? Maybe it's Overwatch office there. Haven't heard about it. Only about the Boston and another one in close to LA. It is Irvine. So now I think we want to add the highlights and then some more colors, gradients, ambience, and it will be almost done. Mm. That's interesting. So the highlights is our lighter details from the like main light source or something that you would imagine and paint. Why do I paint top. Well, I think the view is like, oops, in the game it's like this, and the sun like goes from the upper to lower part, so it will be here darker one, and the view, like the player will be size. So let me create some size example. I think the player gonna be like this, maybe a little bit upper if this is an elf, and so he's going to face directly like his head to these bricks. Yeah. So it's going to be seen very well. So we have also the border here, like it's the lower part of the building, where the bricks gonna connect this wooden planks and this border with the metal. And this time I wanted to do something different. This building should look different from the ones I already made. So I don't want to repeat the details like on the common buildings we made. I don't want that much light here. Also, we're gonna do some ambience under these rocks, stones. Yeah, so they will not that flat connection. Will not have that flat connection with the wall. Have more depth. I don't know why, but I enjoy painting much more than sculpting. For example, previously I did some walls with the sculpting. Where is it? These ones. No, not the blend 4 version 4 plus. And the texture's not set there. I want to open it with the blender it's been made with. Because in new blender I need to set up viewport textures from scratch, and it's hundreds of objects. I don't want it. So where's my brick? Yeah, everything been sculpted for this set. already been showing this at the start of the stream. But I want to get to the brick texture. Where is it? Where is it? We are very close. There is it. So this one been sculpted, and then I bake it everything and paint over it. Looks very clean, but I enjoy painting much more. And same for wood and roof, everything been sculpted first. Then I bake it, those things, place at the curvature, wrote normal green channel, ambient occlusion on the multiply overlay blending mode, and painted over it. And that's the results. I'm sure this building gonna look even better than all the previous one I made, because I already have more experience and I'm making it in very good mood. Hey, the gamer, thanks man. This building been inspired by the one I did previously, but we're gonna do it much better. But we wanted similar forms, so like I did for Epic Games Tavern. But now we are making it in the Domi style with different forms, colors, but the overall shape of this like entrance and the main hall will be pretty same size. So yeah, I expect that it's gonna be much better, the new one. Also for roofs and some details, I want to extrude some meshes here so they will have more silhouette forms. And already we did much more details in the planks painted. I like already this one much more. Just a couple more highlights and we are good to go to the next stage. And I want to polish this wall very well that will be repeated on the wall building. I hope in future to show more different workflows like ZBrush and some substance sections too. I think I'm working with everything because I've been doing these modular things for almost 15 years. Starting with some mobile game city builders, with different floors for buildings and that kind of things. Then I've been doing many different dungeons, tileable ones. And painting the highlights on the stones rocks. Need to make sure they're not shining like the metals. And normally for this over highlight you want to go with a less opacity, because the upper one it's like a beveled thing and the lower this one it's just a small soft reflection from the light source. That's the idea. And there's so many ways to make the tileable textures. You can do it Photoshop, Substance Painter, ZBrush, Substance Designer, 3D Code. And maybe someone even can do this in Blender, but I don't recommend it. And also you can mix all these workflows differently together. It also everything like that works. Let's do some highlights on these smaller things. we go. Do we want to do some scratches here? Maybe let's try. I want to make them like barely seen, not that eye-catching. I need to make sure they're not looking like too repetitive. This kind of looks cool. And some small highlights to it too. Just barely seen. We don't want them to take attention on our tiles like this, you know, or even this. It's gonna be seen too much. And maybe some random highlight details on this texture, structure things. Yeah, that looks cool. So what we have highlights, line art, the bricks, our bricks, and the base color texture, and then boom, what is this thing? Lights here. Boom, boom, boom. I think we need to add some more details on this texture with like some maybe small rock or damage details for more interesting look. Let's test it out. some damage thing. Let's try with smaller, like rookie stone things. So some strange small rocks sticking to the clay. It's not perfect. It's a medieval. They don't have good technology. Now I think we're gonna do some ambience. And the ambience. Upper bricks, over bricks, painted. We go with soft brush and with some darker color. Maybe like this. Nope, that's too colorful. So they are not looking that flat now. to paint some soft ambient and a little bit of this outline with darker line, very small line, for better reading of these bricks, so they are not that blurry. Looks pretty cool. Adjust a little bit so the upper part will have less ambient than the lower part. Feels like a very time consuming process, but after we make all the tiles, our building will be just done. Even if you spend one day of this on this tile work, imagine after that you can build like all the building set, many different variations. I think it's worth it. And I also want the ambient on this part too, when the bricks connects each other. That's it for upper bricks. No ambient with the ambient. After the ambient, we're gonna do some gradients and adding some decals. It's like a dirt, earth, whatever thing to add more colors to our texture. No, I want to add some ambient on these ones too. But I have a feeling that I painted on this layer with lighter colors, so I will need to go with ambience. Blending. painted, adjusted some white details here. So we're gonna paint it on upper layer. Not something you want to do, but if you don't have issues to paint like me on whatever layer, it's okay. But normally you want to keep your layers correctly. I really don't want to add more details to this scratch, it's so small. Kind of been working on something bigger, yeah. You could do some light information in this like thing, you know, like make it more like a real scratch, not that abstract. But in our situation, I think it will be very noisy if you're gonna add like more details here, smaller lines and so on. So I'm not going to do that for this thing. I left it like a dark thing. Thank you guys, glad you like it. Yeah, this brick painting is a little bit boring. Probably not that fun to watch. But you can ask me some questions if you want. I've been in art for 15 years, not only as 3D artist, but also as art outsourcer studio founder for 9 years and co-founder of couple small indie game companies. And currently I'm doing a lot of art content, and that's my plans for future. Oh, we missed some highlight. Oh, no, it's the highlight layer. The bow house. I had somewhere the estimates, but I'm not sure it will be very comfortable for client if I will show them. But let's talk about it, like randomly checking the building. So, for example, every tile texture is like 2 to 3 hours to make, yeah. Some pure thing like this one. Oops. This can take like maybe 3-4 hours. The over borders is also like 3-4 hours. The windows, it's like 4+ hours. We're also gonna do detail it, some ornaments here. The doors is like also 5-6 hours. It's not the final yet. Like plank set for this building. It also will take all the planks, like maybe 10 hours, like all the bigger planks, everything. These things. Then the banners. All the banners also like maybe 8 hours, like this one, this, because I want to paint some ornaments on this one too. The stairs is like maybe some 6 hours. I'm gonna do more painting on it. It's a raw stage of figuring out the colors and design, and after that I polish everything, and this stage taking probably couple days to me, maybe 3, maybe 4 days to make the design. You're starting with I start with bulk out, and then I overpaint it a little bit, very raw, not showing to anyone. It's because I'm just not doing the quality drawing. I figuring out the design, and then I draw everything to 3D code and starting very base texture and colors for it, like we have here. Yeah, it's been, and these walls, for example, these walls are not the tiles, but they bring me the idea how the wall building will look. Yeah. So they're just randomly unwrapped, and I'm gonna replace them later on with the final work we are doing. So it's like that kind of concepting. And normally this wall set, very well polished, it will take, I know, 100 plus hours with the proofs. Also we're gonna have the interiors. Yeah. Unfortunately I can't show you the invoice that I sent to the client. I don't think they gonna like it. But yeah, that's just some raw estimates for you. The bigger barrels will take a little bit more, like 8 to 10 hours to paint, because I want them to look not just barrel, but I think to paint some logo, maybe more interesting details, some forks, I don't know, something. So it will be not like a small barrel that will take just 1-2 hours to make. I'm using older Blender for, for example, my previous work's been made in older version. And if I open those with Blender 4 Plus, I will lose all my viewport textures. And that's not something I want. And for every later work, I'm trying to stick with Blender of 4 Plus, so don't use the older one if you don't have reason for it. And sometimes I feel like more comfortable with older UI, because for older version of Blender I've been working in it, I think from version of 2.5 plus, and this UI been live for 11 years or 12 years, and then it changed it to new one. So sometimes you feel like at home here. While for new tutorials and all the content, I'm trying to stick to new Blender version, because no one of the new guys using the older version. And I'm still modeling much more faster in older version, because I've been so many years here. But the older version liking some features with the smoothing groups and other things. So yeah, use the new only. While for 3D code, I have version 4.9, and it's because I have a pro license for it, and I'm using 3D Code only for painting. And in the newer versions, they mostly change it. Nothing changes for painting. They just moved couple features like bake occlusion to edit, and that's all the updates. So I don't want to spend $400 for new license for my pro version. So I think it's pretty okay to use that. And same for ZBrush. I use 2022 version because I bought it for $800, and I think it also was the Black Friday sale or something like this. And I don't want to get the newer version and pay those things again. No reason for me. Oh, you're doing the realistic assets. That's interesting. And I've been a little bit bored with realistic things, they're always around us in real world, so I'm trying to stick to more stylized ones. Something that relaxes me while I'm doing it. But some guys like realistic more. I have some friends from real life who's working on Call of Duty on in the, I think it's Washington. Yeah, there's Activision Raven located. And some of these guys just fell in love for hard surface things and realistic assets. And I always been a fan of World of Warcraft. That's why I'm painting that much of stylized things. Maybe if I played more some Call of Duty or Counter Strike, I would do some realistic things too. Soon we're gonna add this texture to our building and replace all the older walls and see how it works. So barely I'm painting hand painted and stylized 24 hours a day. Before the stream, I had the main work project for 8 hours, so I've been working on it the whole day, and then at night I'm doing some freelance art content and my own stuff. Till I get in sleep. Hey Raphael, how you doing, man? Yeah, this is a hand painted house we are doing. There it is, the full version of it with raw concept wannabe textures that been made to understand overall core schema and the details and so on. And now we need to do the final for it. It's a tavern building made for Domi Online MMORPG game. I've been making a lot of stuff for them for 2 or 3 years. If you check like my ArtStation or YouTube reels, you can find many of those things. YouTube shorts they also have on Instagram, and I have many things there too. I think we're missing some highlight. So I made some simple mesh like this one, and I make it tileable. Yeah, so we paint here, and we can use this thing like a tile. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty similar to World of Warcraft, but it's more simple in details here. Because if I would paint like World of Warcraft, it have a lot more details, and we will do this much longer. For example, I've been painting some fan art of this Warcraft dagger, and it looks 1 to 1 like in the game, but it's taking much longer to make that kind of detailed assets. I also have a video of recreating it. Oh, it's at Domi Online. I think it's in the title. It's a MMORPG game made by a small team, but very passionate one, and I enjoy making different buildings for them. For example, these ones, yeah, it's all been made for them. All these building sets, the towns for humans, the castle. Everything, the small wooden huts with different skins. There's 100 of variations I made. Also the castle. And the Chinese building. Like the temple. And this one's been made by not only by me, it's the studio work, my studio work. In past I had a team up to 15 peoples. And now I'm chilling, making art content, no more this crazy stuff. I'm gonna do later on some pixel polishing here too, but this is gonna be very boring, so I'm gonna do it out of stream. For example, I will go and connect these small pixels together and that kind of things, like clean it up a little bit, but I think it will be very boring for now, and we just will go through the full pipeline. So if we're not going to do like for building for better look, we can add the gradient to our wall, or yeah, I think we can. So we're not going to do this crazy huge one. Anyway, we can do two textures with it and without it, but with gradients it can look much better. So there's this filter gradient mode, and we go for some warm and for some cold color like this, for example. And let's add some small gradient to it and put it on like maybe 25%. Yeah, that's cool. And that's not it. I also want an overall overall for over part here. And maybe for upper part, like this one and this one. And you can do this only if you're building not going to expand on the upper part, or you will need couple tiles like this one with the over ambient and then the one without it to connect here, so it will have same values where it continues, and it's gonna look much better than just a flat tile texture without these things. Let's adjust it a little bit. Maybe decrease opacity a little bit, it looks cool. Yeah, I like it. And maybe some upper one too. Probably for upper one I will go for something warmer. Oops. Also, if we would have some planks that separate our building, we could do this side ambience for it, the painted ones, but we don't have those, and that way we would have more variations of tiles, like with side ambience without it, just to have a better look of hand painted things. And maybe some white on the middle. Let's do this on separate layer. Maybe color dodge. And this not the correct brush. Oops. Not the correct layer. Dodge. Let's try bigger brush. That looks much more cooler. I feel that we're still missing like some bigger ambient here on this line where it connects with the wall, with the main wall here. Some better, darker line and ambient needed, and some decals, and probably we can check how this thing looks on the building. And we need some deco things like earth, dirt, I don't know, random some things. Maybe some interesting additional colors like I did on previous textures for these buildings. Like we can see some blue dots here and there just for more interesting look. Actually, World of Warcraft do this often. I explored this thing when I've been playing Warcraft. So let's try some. And we have some interesting stamps here. So this set additional like this details. And probably I want some maybe green things on over part, maybe like moss or something. I don't know. Oh, let's test it. And for Tavern points in 3D code, I created. Where is it? Is it hiding? Yeah, these points. It's like part of the building with UV unwrapped like this. Yeah, and then I just copied two of them on the sides. Yeah, and joining these things here. Not sure if someone using this thing. I just created this by my own. Never saw this before, and it works great. And then when we are painting, we have like tile effect on everywhere, yeah, and you see how it looks like. If we paint in Photoshop, there's an issue that we see only our square texture, and you can see how it looks when it's like big. Yeah, you always need to test it. And I really enjoy the brushes in Brush Engine in 3D Code, so I prefer to do that kind of things there. And also we are painting not unusual texture, tile texture, yeah. Most of them like squares, yeah, square size. So most of guys going with the squares. But for this one I wanted more unique look. We are not going to expand this building in like 5 floors or something, yeah. It will be 1 to 2 floors. And that way I will make more detailed tile with ambience and different details that gonna look more interesting. That's the thing. And if the game developers approve it, you can do like this. If not, stick to squares. Or maybe you need some correct modular things for generators or something, then also you need to go with squares. And if you're doing art content for like with fan store or Unreal Engine marketplace, yeah, they also approve only square tiles, but they also have special sizes there with different special thickness like 0.2 and 5, I think it was. And also they're using not correct square, but it's like rectangle tiles there, and they not approve the plain tiles, only the closed meshes. So it really depends on the developer, the project, and your needs, but all of them works great. If you check my video that I have made about modular assets, I'm showing there different things and how it works, and different modular assets. Yeah, for example, this one made for Epic Games had these different size tiles with thickness, with special thickness that they ask it. And also they ask it to join like these borders and windows to the tiles. So it's preference of the developer. A little bit of damage, some damage things. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I would gladly answer anything on your mind. some kind of decals. And I think we are done. Probably I'm gonna do some more pixel polishing out of the screen, you know, like getting correct with this whole small, super small details that's no one gonna see, but I love everything to be polished. And now we can export this texture and place it around all the house. Let's go to like D1. And we go, our tile is here. Let's see, is it exactly correct size we need? It's let's set the pivot. So for the pivot you want to place it on the like over central part or any edge like here or here. And I want it to be like 3 meters, so 2 to 3 meters. Maybe even more. Let's see. Oops. Let's split the roof. Hey, hey, to the new guys in the chat. Yeah, so normally they're gonna go like this, and here we're gonna do separate meshes for windows. And then we just copy and put it a little bit inside, and that's our wall. Yeah, and we can play with it. Maybe we want to put it like more inside the border. And I have a feeling that we could do different like values for these bricks, like make a couple of them a little bit brighter and couple of them less brighter. So it needs a little bit of very fast small polishing, and I feel it better to use like this. Yeah. Not like too much of these raw stones. This feels better for me. Dude, no one paints in Blender. Blender painting, texture painting haven't been updated for, I don't know, for 12 years. There's nothing there, no layers, no nothing. The brush engine sucks. None of the companies using Blender texturing features for final product. It's a pain, huge pain painting in Blender. I've been trying it many times and it's crazy how it's uncomfortable. To pick color you need to like move your brush to different direction at the window and it's just crazy. The node-based system is a different thing. It's more for rendering and not like for that kind of hand-painted assets, I think. And then we can adjust those walls for different forms if need, like here we have, yeah. And for this one probably I will want to do unique bricks. I will use one of these tiles and I'm gonna extend these bricks here. Gonna paint additional texture and do this thing and this thing. Maybe adjust some sizes or add some additional thing for this part and for this part. Maybe I want to add some separation point like here and add this upper tile. Like this, yeah. So we can that way add a lower tile here and add a new tile on the upper part. The older version, no one need to use it, no worries, it's just been more comfortable for me to do the modeling here. I didn't know I gonna stream it. I'm trying not to stream or do tutorials with older version. I just doing modeling here with this UI faster because I've been working with this UI for 11 years. So that's the only one reason I'm using older version sometimes. And also I have many older projects that have been made with older version. And if I open them with new version of Blender, I'm gonna use the viewport textures. And sometimes I don't want to set up 100 of viewport textures from scratch. There's no reason to use older version for those who's not been so long in the industry and you're not like very familiar with older UI. And yeah, if you check my OS tutorials like the Mac, the Rock, I've been using the latest version of Blender. I also made some nice setup there, but still sometimes I just stuck on some things with the UI and just have to Google something and yeah, it just takes longer. And that's how we're gonna do with all the building. And we're gonna use this everywhere these things and make a new tile for this one, and it's gonna look like I'm gonna use this one, and I probably gonna copy these bricks from our part. Let's actually go to Photoshop. And the newer version kind of have more cool features and better smoothing things, but as the older version of Blender been very nice for like very speed up process in all poly modeling with all the hotkeys there. You can do, I think, much faster, or it's just me who's been working for decades with older UI. So I would do something like this, and then coin these things correctly for our upper texture unique one, and using this just as a base, yeah, not like a final thing, and then polish everything. And that way we're gonna have our this side brick thing that goes like this here and here. And then a roof tile, it also will be that size. Then I will need to do a floor tile for interiors, upper roof tile, because I don't want to be in inner roof part made with this like, how to say that, tiles, yeah, concrete tiles inside the medieval building. It's a planks always on upper side. And that's it, and this will be all the tiles needed for this building. Then I'm gonna polish all the smaller proofs things and split the wooden planks to the parts like we did in previous sets, yeah, like this one. Oops, yeah, too many parts without ambient visible, yeah. There's a lot of parts here and different assets, and that's why I'm not opening this with new Blender. I'm gonna use all viewport textures, and I need to set up hundreds of models. It's just not worth it for what? Just to have a new UI here. So yeah, I have hundreds of things here, and the buildings, a lot of buildings made. But of course, for new tutorials and content, I'm always trying to use the new version. So I think this gonna be it for this stream, because I'm already working for like 14 hours today, and I need to eat something. And I think we're gonna continue with this building on next streams. I'm now trying to stream at least like once a week or so. So yeah, hope you guys like the stream, and see you at the next streams. Yeah.